Hey there friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having a really great day. So today I'm coming back to you with another book review, and this time it's for Accords of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. So this is the second in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. I reviewed the first book a couple of weeks ago. When I'm filming this, I filmed the review last weekend, and as promised I am back with the review of book number 2. If you've been around these parts for a while, you know that Sarah J Maas is pretty much my favourite author of all time. If Sarah J Maas writes it, I will read it. However, I'm just really behind in picking up this series, so I'm actually got the box set for my birthday, and I'm now reading them all back to back. As was the case when I was doing the review for book number 1, I was halfway through this. Now I've finished this and I'm already halfway through book 3. Which just, I think, tells you everything you need to know. I am able to tell I absolutely love this series. I'm reading them all back to back, and potentially I actually love it more than the Throne of Glass series, which is a big statement because it's my favourite series of all time. I think what I like about this series is it is a bit shorter. It's only 3 books. I think there's like a potential sort of novella after, but I'm not sure on that. But this book just blew me out of the water. As normal with Sarah J Maas, she starts a series in one place and you have these expectations of where it's going to go, and she just completely trounces them. But at least, you know, within the first 100 pages or the first 150 pages, where you thought this book was going to go is like the complete opposite. And the characters that you love suddenly become the villains, and you're like, whoa, this is a whole new series, a whole new world. And she just kind of destroys everything that you thought you knew and rebuilds it from the ground up, but in the most fantastic way. And really just, I fell in love with these characters in this world. And I'm not gonna lie, I was reading this book and part of me was hating men, because so the main character Feyre is this badass woman who has just destroyed an evil queen in the first book, and comes into this and then kind of just gets treated like a puppet, and really gets treated not very well by men. And I was reading this getting so pissed off at men. It was ridiculous, and I had to remind myself that it was a book, it wasn't real. But everything that you think you know about this world, everything that I thought I knew, everything that I thought was going to happen and where this was going to lead, it just didn't. And it's kind of really refreshing because you never know where you're going with Sarah J Maas, and I love that. And this book really just took me on a journey that I didn't think I'd go on. And so a lot of new characters are introduced in this book who are completely new, and it's super exciting. As in A Court of Mist and Fury, this world is kind of just expanded and made and becomes so much bigger than you ever anticipate, and I absolutely love that. And Sarah J Maas, I always say, writes incredible women, and in book 2, in A Court of Mist and Fury, she introduces this world so many new badass women and so many new badass men, and just characters that you did not see coming and that you completely fall in love with. And she just blows me away every single fucking time, and she did that with this book. I could not put it down. I even sent out a tweet. So I was reading this book. I've been reading it on the tube on the way to work, on the tube on the way back from work, at home, and there was a day where literally I was sat at work on my laptop contemplating how I could sneak this book to the toilet with me so I could carry on reading it. That's how obsessed I was, and I am. And I just want to tell, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. This world is just a dream, but not a dream. And the writing and the way that this story is, I don't want to give too much away in case you've not read the first book or you're reading the first book, but wow, the way that this story starts and the way the story ends and the way that it unfurls and the way that things happen is just incredible and so clever and so unique, and you just don't expect any of it, and it's amazing. And then the way it ends on a massive cliffhanger, and you're sat there with your heart in your mouth. And I finished this book, and within 24 hours I'd read 150 pages of the next one. I'm kind of really want to go into detail about this. I'm not going to, in case you've not read the first book, or in case you're contemplating reading this series. All I can say is please do. If you've not picked this series up, you will not regret it. As always with Sarah J Maas, you think the first book is, you know, with most series, you think that the first book is going to be the best. With this series, not at all. The first book is good, but it's kind of laying the groundwork. The second book absolutely blows out the water, and all I can say is, you know, you have to kind of read the first book to get to the second book, and the second book just, you know, Court of Mist and Fury makes this series. It completely transforms it in the most amazing way, and it is so much better than book one, because book one actually is quite, you kind of get what you, it's very expected. There's not that many surprises. Whereas with book two, wow, every page, every chapter is a twist, is a turn. You do not see it coming. You're constantly on the edge of your seat. A Court of Mist and Fury is just kind of blows A Court of Thorns and Roses out of the water, in my opinion. It's so spectacular. I can imagine when this book came out, there must have been, the internet must have been on fire, because Sarah J. Maas completely flips your ships upside down. She flips the love upside down. She literally turns the tables on these characters in this world, and it is spectacularly written, spectacularly done. Your heart, like, the way that you feel for some of these characters, and you've not known them very long, especially the new ones who are introduced from Rhysand's court, you're like, wow, just wow. Yeah, and I'm going to end this review here because I don't want to go into too much detail. As I say, in case you've not read the first book, or in case you're still contemplating whether you should read it, if you haven't read this series, if you haven't read book one, go and do it. Even if it just means that you can get to A Court of Mist and Fury, because wow, this book is fucking amazing. I'm going to stop now, but I hope you enjoyed this book review. If you have read this, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to chat with you guys about this. And if you've read this and you've got other book recommendations or other series recommendations based on this, again, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts. If you enjoy this review, please like and subscribe. I would love you to stick around. I post videos at least once, if not twice a week. Many of those are book videos. So there's always new exciting stuff coming from me. And as suggested, I'm already halfway through book 3 in this series, so the review of that will be coming very soon. I hope you enjoyed this. As said, remember to like and subscribe if you did, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.